What's going on? It's Katie here, and today we're gonna dive into Hollyland's Pyro 7. Hollyland was kind enough to gift this out to me, and so of course I wanted to make a review on it, and in all honesty, I think this thing is a beast. So I'm really excited to share all the features that it has with you, and then give you a real world example of how I used it on one of my shoots. Let's hop into it. You have the actual monitor, two antennas, a D-tap to locking DC power adapter cable, SD card inside the monitor, and a USB-C adapter. The Pyro 7 is made out of plastic, which I actually think is key because when I have it mounted to my camera, it keeps my setup a lot lighter. You can power it with NPF batteries or the DC cable. You can also connect it via SDI or HDMI. And lastly, you have your headphone port, the SD card slot, power switch, and two shortcut buttons. It's a 7-inch monitor, which I think is great because it really lets me see what I'm capturing and it still fits in my gear bag. I have to admit I was a little intimidated when I first opened it out of the box because I was nervous to see what the new features were, how to use them, is this going to fit easily into my current setup? And I will say as soon as I turned it on, that feeling went away so quickly. I feel like it actually adds a lot to my setup, and based off of all the features you're about to see, I don't want to use my old monitor anymore. Now when you turn it on, you can see your camera settings on the screen. If you tap the screen, you have access to all of the different functions, which are incredibly useful. You have your graphs, which you can actually move around on the screen, focus assist, false color, LUTs, which you can import more of, 4x zoom in, aspect ratio mark, which you can also customize, and it already includes the most common ratios. At the end, there's a button for video recording where you can actually set the file naming, choose whether it's recorded with or without the LUT, and add a time code. The Pyro 7 is all in one. It can be used as a monitor, transmitter, or receiver. Here in system settings is where you can adjust your shortcuts F1 and F2 to be whatever you'd like. When you're using it as a transmitter in broadcast mode, you can connect 4 receivers to it. Hollyland sent me their Pyro H wireless video transmitter system earlier this year, which I'm connecting to my Pyro 7. So the Pyro 7 connected to your camera can be shown on 4 other monitors around set for other people to see what the camera is seeing. Now maybe you only have 2 receivers to connect. You can do this outside of broadcast mode. So you can connect these 2 receivers to monitors, and then you can include a phone or a phone and an iPad to also use as monitors through the Hollyland app. Now I want to show you a real-world example of how the Pyro 7 was super useful for me on a project I just did. I wasn't able to actually film it, so I'm going to recreate this, so let's go check it out. As you can see, I have my camera rigged up in the car. I have a Pyro H transmitter connected to my camera via HDMI, and then I have my Pyro 7 set up as a receiver. In this shot, we wanted to capture our subjects driving and chatting. So this is where the Pyro 7 comes in clutch. I'm outside and away from the car, and I can see exactly what the frame looks like and that my subjects are in focus. When we're ready for a take, I can either go in the car and hit record on my camera, or if we plan to record directly to the monitor, I can just hit record straight from the Pyro 7. And after our take, we can easily view playback on the monitor. Now the second example I want to share with you is for individual creators. It can be a lot trying to view your frame and make sure everything's in focus and the colors are right without an external monitor. So with the Pyro 7 connected to my camera, I can see exactly what my camera is seeing. I can also do this using a Pyro H transmitter connected to my camera and putting the Pyro 7 in receiver mode. I'm genuinely excited to be adding this to my gear bag, and honestly, I haven't found anything that I don't like about it yet. So out with the old, in with the new. Click the link in the description below to get yourself a discount on the Pyro 7 or any other Hollyland product you might want. I'll see you next time with another video.